How's everybody doing today? It is Matt here. This is Lazy Octopus Gaming. This is our Hot Pop podcast we do once a week that comes out Friday mornings. Every week, myself, Thomas, and Andrew here, we sit down.
Hello.
We sit down, we gather around our own computers because we're poor and can't all be in the same room. And, we chat about some things in games and just media in general that we like about. Every day we, talk about what we've been doing the week. We talk about some video game stuff. We talk about some other media stuff. After that, we have a rotating hot pot topic. Say that 6 times fast.
Hot topic.
Rotating hot pot. Shit.
You're just not going to be able to do it.
I didn't make it to the first one.
It's impossible. We hold off the topic from you guys, though, until we get to it, because it's a surprise.
It is. Like a Kinder Egg, except it is.
I don't even know what it is half the time.
He really doesn't.
This time, I know what it is this time, though.
But, so that's this. That's us. Like I said, we're Lazy Octopus Gaming. I've had a great week so far. It's been a bit busy at my actual day job. How's your weeks going so far, boys?
Thomas, you can go first.
Boise of Idaho? Yeah, how's it going so far?
Pretty good. I was just got out of my martial arts class. That was fun.
If you didn't know, Thomas is a kung fu master.
Yes.
Not a master, just an apprentice, disciple.
You're a kung fu master compared to us.
Yes.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Say, I know kung fu. Do it.
Oh, I know kung fu.
Thomas, do you agree that in the very first
Are we gonna talk about the Matrix?
Karate Kid? No, in the very first Karate Kid.
Oh, I know you're gonna
the
go.
main
Yes.
character is completely in the wrong.
Yes, Daniel San's the bad guy, dude. He really
He
is.
really is.
I saw some analysis videos and I thought they were funny, and then I rewatched that movie and I was like, you know what? Like it's weird. Like it's by today's standards, it kind of feels that way. Like if you look at it from that lens,
The
it.
Barney Stinson effect.
the Barney Stinson approach. But what's weird is a lot of movies, if you watch them back, it's like watching them through today's social lens. You'd be like, this wouldn't get made today. But also, this is a fucking great movie. I wish they would make movies like this again today.
A lot of movies are really racist. Older movies.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what movie
Really
will never
racist.
get made again? Blazing Saddles. Even though that movie is fantastic, that
You know what?
movie
That's
is
the sad
very
thing, though, because-
racist.
No, I don't. I'll let you finish first, Thomas. Actually.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go first. You're.
Oh, all I was saying was that, you know what? I kind of like, I'm sad that we're getting so sensitive in a way, because I kind of want movies like that to exist, and like we should maybe just have a little bit of understanding that some things not everyone likes, and just fucking we'll just let us have movies. If they're bad, they'll fail. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So here's my counter argument to that: Super Troopers 2 and Deadpool, and there's a lot of really fucked up
I was
shit
gonna
in those
say-
movies, and I think we do them. I think those kind of movies still happen now. Maybe not to the same level as Blazing Saddles. But
Django
also,
Unchained.
yeah, I mean those kind of really racist-y kind of movies. Not that purposely racist, but like those ones that people are just like need to like calm down about, still very much occur. It's just not as many people are doing it, and more importantly, there's just not as many. The film industry is so, what's the right word for it? It's so business focused now. The accountants run everything,
Yeah.
which is
They
a
can't
positive.
afford to have
They
this
can't
bad.
they can't afford to do it. So if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it in a smaller thing, like a Deadpool sort of thing, where they're not throwing a ton of money in it. They have enough big names in it who are taking no money that it's probably going to at least make their money back, and they can, get some guy signed in for a few movies that they want, that the studios want to do. But I mean, the other problem is just that like all the top comedy people right now, they're just releasing a lot of them, and they're not doing
I kinda
comedies.
agree with you. You know what another thing is? I think they're like afraid. We're giving the vocal minority like a lot of power, and they're just afraid to piss anybody off, because angry shit goes viral so fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anything, like if they have any negative publicity, that could ruin your movie. Even if just only like a couple people in a blog hate it, if that catches on, you can have Ghost in the Shell, where the creator loved the casting of Scarlett Johansson, and that movie still everyone thinks is racist.
I think
but they've never seen
I
or
think
heard of
I,
it.
I think I think that movie was just bad more than anything. The thing is
Yeah, I mean,
even,
in that case, I'm behind a bad movie. I didn't even end up seeing it.
I didn't
But
see
it
it
was
either.
funny. It was just funny because like the creator was so stoked to have Scarlett Johansson. Everyone was like, "No, Scarlett Johansson's a bad cast." And it's like, I don't know. You guys don't. Yeah, you definitely don't watch or read or have anything to do with Ghost in the Shell. You don't know. But
The
so frustrating.
echo chamber is very, very dangerous, which is just, that's just what it's an echo chamber for a reason. You go back, you echo back and forth with 6 other people, and everyone becomes extremely radicalized. Just kind of what happens on the internet, and you got to keep yourself aware that it might be that might occur. I mean, I see it all the time. Let's say when I'm on like the WoW subreddits and people start complaining about something, and then you see someone, it's like, hey, I'm new, I just started the game, and like, here are all the things, and you're like, you know what, like some of these things that we really complain about, or people are complaining about on these things, and this is just, a very small subsection, really aren't that big of a deal. It's just because some people are old and bitter about things. But in still continuing on with the comedy, I think part of it is that the Will Ferrells of the world, that group of comedians, they're starting to reach their end of their life cycle as like really comedic actors. They're the Adam Sandlers, where Adam Sandler.
I was literally
They're the generation before Adam. Did I lose you guys?
No.
Okay, sorry. It just got really quiet. I got real scared for a second.
I mean, I was listening to you.
No. So they're in their Adam Sandler phase. You know how Adam Sandler did a bunch of great movies, then they started falling off. Then he disappeared for a second, and now he's back again doing bad movies. They're at that falling off phase right now, where a lot of the stuff they're doing just isn't quite as good as they used to be doing it. You're not getting those super bads. You're not getting the Step Brothers and those sorts of movies anymore. You're getting that movie where Will Ferrell, I think it was, and Amy Poehler were open a casino in their house that wasn't very good. You're getting those instead, which is those tail end Adam Sandler movies. And I think in the next few years we're going to really start to see the next group of comedians come out. I mean, if you go to any comedy club in the US, there's people who are just absolutely hysterical out there, and those people, especially the younger ones, are going to really start making a name for themselves in the next few years. People start taking some risks on them, and I think we're going to get back and have the next generation of Step Brothers and Superbads and stuff, and I'm really excited.
Good.
Oh, I love stuff like that. Step Brothers was the jam, dude.
Oh, Step Brothers, fantastic. Superbad is the ode of our generation. I mean, I think you guys are the same age as me. It came out between my junior and senior year of high school, and it was, I mean, it's our Animal House. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like probably Superbad. Yeah, Superbad, I think, would probably be Superbad and Super Troopers. I think are the two like odes to our generation.
I think Super Troopers is a bit earlier than us, though. Like, I'm talking about, like, high school coming-of-age comedies.
You know what? You're right about that. Super Troopers was, like, all of my friends' older brothers' movie. And we watched and, like, we were watching it because it was cool, but, like, it was, like, I was, like, 3 years older than us or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, at least just my opinion. I'm probably wrong. I'm not wrong. It's an opinion, but no, opinions can be wrong. Let's not get into that. There are incorrect opinions. Yes, you're allowed to have your opinion.
Or if you're super sensitive like me, you take things too seriously sometimes. I'd never do that.
No, you've never done that before in your life.
Once. None of us have.
No, we never get really, really upset and start like wanting to murder your friends over like something really, really stupid. That never happens.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. You didn't say it's a 4-letter word on here. We do not talk about Star Wars.
What's rule number 1? Don't talk about Star Wars. Rule
number 2. Still don't talk about
You can
Star
talk about the prequels in the original trilogy and Clone Wars. And
all the good stuff. I mean, all the other stuff.
You just can't talk about the new movies. Rule number 1.
Number 3 is
not until J.J. Abrams comes back and hopefully
we'll see.
No! Is he supposed to? Wait, real quick though. Is he supposed to?
He's writing and directing the third.
Trevorrow, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Fired/quit. We don't know. We know. We don't know. And
no one knows.
So J.J. Abrams is taking up the helm again. And what's funny is when Rian Johnson was starting, J.J. Abrams did regret saying at one point he did publicly say he regretted. At least I heard that he had said that he regretted not doing the entire trilogy, and I wish he did. It would have nice to have one person or one mind do the whole thing.
It would have been as long as you had one person write the whole thing. That's all that matters.
I would have loved that
because that's why the other ones were all written by George Lucas. So even though he didn't direct all of them, they were at least written by him. So they at least had some sort of they were the brainchild of one person rather than being the brainchild of multiple people.
Even Empire, who had like. Can't remember their names, but
Lawrence
then
Kasdan?
Lucas is still like the soul of it. You know what I mean? Like ultimately they're making his vision. You know?
Exactly. So.
Yeah. So just cozy my way into here. Hi, I'm Andrew.
Oh shit!
Oh, we haven't introed you yet, have we?
Sorry, Oh,
and,
your name is not Andrew. Hold on, this
my
is
name
not
is
the first
Frola.
episode.
Sorry, my name is Frola. Apparently, according to literally my entire
Would you
friends group.
would you prefer to be Andrew on the internet?
No, I don't care.
Would you though?
Frola is so
Whatever.
much more unique than Andrew. How many Andrews are there, and how many Frolas are there?
That's true.
I know, that's why I'm welcome, Matt. I know,
Plus, you
on as
say
many
Frola
things
with
I can be.
love.
I know. There's probably a half decent amount of Frolas in the Czech Republic, but who knows? But yeah. So
So you do realize you ruined our trivia question for 50 episodes down the line when we say which episode.
No,
is
no, I introduced him as Andrew too at the beginning. It's my fault too.
Oh,
Shame
okay,
me,
good.
shame me as well.
Okay, I'm just
shame.
Okay, have your intro.
I
Sorry, I keep interrupting
I
you.
know you're good.
I'm such a
I haven't really been doing too much. I've been working a lot this week. I'm getting caught up finally on Gallivant, which has been really fun. I've been really enjoying that. And let's see, start playing Fortnite with Matt.
Oh my god,
Haven't gotten to
Fortnite!
play with Matt and Thomas at the same time
Fortnite!
yet.
Fortnite's so goddamn fantastic.
Thomas sucks at Fortnite.
I did
We all
too.
suck at
I'm
Fortnite.
only now just starting to go from not sucky from sucky to bad at the game.
Good.
Hey man, so you've crossed the
Getting
noob
there.
beginner threshold.
Yeah, I still can't build for shit, but my aiming is starting to get there, and I'm working on the building. It's really good to practice your building in the 50v50, just because there's so many people that you can get. I basically do that to get my quest usually done.
It's just so tough to go quick. Like people who could do like the circle and immediately put down like a perfect box.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
did you?
Blow my
I
mind.
can do the straight circle around just a 1-layer box, super easy because I have it hotkeyed. I hotkeyed mine smartly because I play WoW and you have to hotkey things correctly. Like my straight up and
If
down
it was
wall is H for me because I'm a lefty. I'm a vile human being and I move on
really are.
IJKL. So H is which is the equivalent of your guys' is F. Is my straight up wall. So literally I can just go right around in a split second and build it. My issue is when you're trying to do the tough stairs where you do floor, wall up, stairs, floor, wall up, stairs, floor, wall up, stairs.
Yeah.
And that way you don't just get up high and then get knocked down. So that I don't know how to do.
But I get up again.
But I get up again.
Yeah,
Get
maybe
knocked
not.
down.
And then on a similar note of just battle royale style games, I found out that you can't play Fortnite on Android phones, which is kind of a bummer, but you can play PUBG for free, and I have been absolutely wrecking fools in that game because apparently nobody understands that you have to actually equip armor.
Oh, wait, people just don't equip the armor at all? It's like, it'd be
No,
like,
I swear they don't, because there was a time today, in fact, where I stopped moving. The other person had to have just had a bead on me without even moving at all. Like, they were just directly firing at me.
okay.
I had stopped moving because I was looking around trying to find them. They were lighting me up. I finally find them probably after about 4 seconds of being shot at. And I light them up and kill them almost instantly. And I look at
Gotta
my
get
health
those-
and I'm at like 75%.
Gotta get those headshots, baby.
That's funny.
How? Just how? It was so bad that I legitimately was like, they're going to ban me because they're going to think that I'm like hacking or something. Because by the end of the game, I'd killed 11 people out of 100. I killed
What?
1/10, a little over 1/10 of the people playing the game.
Well,
Wow, dude.
they're apparently just really bad.
They were so bad.
Can I tell you my favorite Fortnite moment?
Yes.
See, I am in the noob status. Okay, I like trying to be good at games, but Fortnite I am just not good at. So when I was playing on Frollo's computer the other day, with Matt,
I think that's against terms of service. You shouldn't admit that.
I was on his computer, not his account.
Yeah, he was on his own account.
I was on my own account, so
Oh, you were on your own
That's
account.
not a
You're
lie. I
right.
was on
You're
my own
right. You're
account.
right. You're right. I just giving you a hard time.
I could have used that extra, just saying. Just
I
saying.
can't help you if it is Overwatch, maybe, but I can't help you with the Fortnite. So I fucking die as per usual, and this guy comes in to help me. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna help me, and he has this dope, like Dr. Disrespect looking skin, and he
Nice.
comes in, he builds a wall around me, and I'm like, oh sweet, he's gonna res me. Then he builds a roof on top of me, and he's inside with me. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is how they arrest people. And then the fucking Napoleon Dynamite music starts playing, and he just starts, and he's doing the Napoleon Dynamite dance in front of me while people are shooting at the fort, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And he wouldn't arrest me. He just is like doing the fish, and I'm like, I was cracking up. I'm like, okay, this guy knows I'm a noob and is either streaming this or just really bored. And
That's because you're a default skin in 50v50. Everyone knows you're a noob if you're a default skin in 50v50.
yeah, they're like, this guy here, and he just like, I'm not gonna arrest you. And then he fucking proceeds to go out of the building, kill everyone, and then res me. And then it was towards the end of the game, and we won, and I did literally nothing. But like, I was just like, what?
It happens. But I think with that and that Fortnite talk, we gotta officially move into our topic number 1: video games. We have looks like 3 items we're talking about today: A, B, and C. Because Thomas didn't post any, but that's okay. We love Thomas anyways. I heart you, Thomas.
Oh, my bad. I was contributing to that hot pot topic.
I know you are. I know. I'm gonna. I'm gonna be sending out the the show notes early, so we find shit we want to talk about going forward. We can put it in so we don't forget about it.
I got plenty
I know.
of stuff.
I know you got plenty of stuff. But so the first one
I'm ready.
we got is that the WoW pre-patch is out for Battle for Azeroth, which I've been on playing a bit. I fucking love WoW. Oh, it gets me just
Really
like
do.
it just gets me. It just,
WoW makes him go, wow.
It's
Oh,
great.
wow.
It was yesterday, so Tuesday. The servers were all sorts of fucked up. Apparently, they have some huge memory leak issue with the game, which was not fun. But they disabled a couple things. They're gonna work on fixing it, and then they'll reintroduce that thing. But all the quests for I'm saying a lot.
Stop it.
I know I need to. You just need to fill time, so I can think. So I'm trying to talk slowly enough so people understand me without having any sort of. There, I said it again. I can't stop. Holy shit, we're bad. Holy shit, I'm bad at this.
Jar.
An jar? Maybe we just like that.
We
But
need
I
an
do
jar.
it too. I do it too. I don't want a jar.
Yeah, we all do. But it's out. It's fantastic. But now I can't stop hearing myself doing it.
Focusing on it.
So
Let's
they
go.
removed battle chests though from WoW, which is really, really important for a lot of people. And I know I was talking to you guys about it via text a bit, and you guys didn't quite get it. So I kind of want to explain more how the system works now. Now,
Explain.
to get everything but the most recent expansion, you don't have to buy anything. You just have to get a subscription. So you go on the site. You can just download the launcher. You can install the game because it's free to play to level 20. It's not very far anymore, but you can free to play to level 20. If you like it, you can get a subscription. If you get a subscription, you're now free to play. You can now, using the subscription, you get all the way to what is right now max level of 110. It will be going up though to 120. You'll still only get to max level of 110. You have to buy the newest expansion to get above 110. And once, this expansion's over and the new expansion comes out, you'll be able to get to 120, the new max level, for free. You won't have to go buy that old expansion. Basically, everything but the current one is free. You don't have to buy it anymore. That's really, really important because when you guys were just starting, when you played for a little bit, it wasn't too bad because you had to buy the battle chest, which is like $10, and you get a free month, or like it was like $20, you get a free month, so it cost you like $4 or $5, and then you had to buy the most recent expansion. With this though, and that's fine when you're there, but if you were starting, let's say a month ago, to get into the game, you would have had to buy the battle chest, which allows you to get from level 1 to level 100. Then you have to buy Legion, which is going to cost you another $20-$25. And then, because it's on the horizon, you would have to buy Battle for Azeroth as well. So because you decided to jump in where you jumped in, it was a lot more expensive for you. If you had...
This makes way more sense.
At any time.
Exactly.
I like it. I think that's great.
Yeah, I
especially
think
for
that
new
makes
people.
sense. I get why people are mad because people already spent that money, and so they're probably pissy.
No, because they roll battle chests through every time a new expansion came out, so they were going to on Tuesday.
It's buy the base game and then the expansion.
Yeah, it's buy the base game, the expansion, but there's a weird in between area in particular where there's buy the base game, buy the current expansion, pre-order the next expansion. When the
You could
pre-patch,
You could get kind of dicked if you join right before another one comes
exactly,
out.
and a lot of people usually join right there so they can level a character up and get themselves used to it. So it's really great for new players. It's going to really help bring people back, especially people who, let's say, played back in Wrath of the Lich King or Mists of Pandaria, and it's like, I'd love to come back, but I have to buy so much. And now it's no. You can just...
Go.
Yeah, because am I have expansion behind? Or I guess I'm not.
No, you have Battle for Azeroth. So you
Yeah.
would, if you wanted to keep playing, you could level a character, as many characters as you want, to 110 with just a subscription. If you wanted to get above 110, though, you'd have to buy the newest expansion, Battle for Azeroth, which makes sense. You have to buy the newest expansion. The cool thing, though,
that's the thing. That makes sense.
yeah, the cool thing, though, and what I'm hoping is that once the pre-order for the expansion after Battle for Azeroth comes out, then Battle for Azeroth will get rolled into it, and you won't have to own Battle for Azeroth anymore, which is similar to how it was going before. So it's a net positive for everybody, I think. Yeah, I'm really excited. If the community grows more, we'll maybe see if we can do some community raids or dungeons. I'm trying to convince these two fools to get some characters going, so even just one character going, so we can maybe do a little bit of content for that, just for funsies. Funsies.
I'll try it. I'll try
Yeah,
it.
like I'm a lot. Now that you've explained that, that makes me a lot less like anti getting back into it. Just
Yeah.
because I mean that's pretty awesome that I really don't have to do, much.
Yeah, it just makes it easier to think about. And like I said, I think the thing we should do, because you guys are cheap, is we can do some level 20 battlegrounds. So you guys can play for free.
Nice.
Do a little PvP for free. You guys will appreciate that. That's all I got on the WoW topic. You guys have anything else you want to add or anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of dope. I think it's a great move for new players. I think it's a smart move, and I think that plus classic WoW is like, I think they're doing all the right stuff.
Oh, I'm so excited for Classic WoW. So excited. Classic WoW is a miserable, miserable fucking shit show. It's absolutely horrendous and terrible, and if you've never played it, you don't understand how just the absolute god-awful worst it was, but I'm so excited to go back into that just horrendous shit show. Just so excited. So
Curious to see. You'll
Yep.
have to give us a separate lore breakdown for those of us who don't know anything, a catch up. If you give us like a separate.
the best person if you're trying to find out WoW lore and you have some time is if you go onto YouTube and you search Nobbel. It's Nobbel. He does all of these absolutely fantastic lore videos in WoW where he'll talk about one topic all the way through. Sometimes he'll do a lore topic for what's the lore of this expansion, or what's the lore of this character, or what's the lore of this location. And I mean, these videos are sometimes 20-30 minutes long, but they are absolutely fantastic if you're ever interested in WoW and WoW lore, because WoW lore is, although there are problems with it, it's very deep, it's very interesting, and it's a really cool world they've built. So Nobbel, Nobbel. I think that's how you spell it, but you can probably find it. He does great work, and I've watched his videos many times. But second topic. The JRPG for the Nintendo Switch, Octopath Traveler. It's out.
Actually, I have something to talk about for this.
It's apparently also, as when you get to you, fantastic, and I really want to get it once I beat Persona 5.
Yes.
And how far are you in there? How many hours you got in Persona 5 right now?
Like 90. No, actually, no, I think it might be more than that. I'm on the last
How far
dungeon.
are you in the story? Percentage.
I'm on the last dungeon.
Okay. Just curious, because I know you've been like 100% in that game.
I've been being nuts about it. But what are we gonna say about Octopath Traveler, there, Mister?
Sorry, go ahead.
Apparently, it's completely sold out right now in Japan and the US, and the studio actually had to make a public announcement apologizing for the fact that they honestly didn't think that people were going to care as much as they did about this game. And that they are working as hard as they can to get, enough copies out for everyone.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Not enough copies?
There's not enough physical copies of the
There's
game.
not enough physical copies for it right now.
Like, we all more or less buy everything digitally because it's optimal. But for me, for the Switch, I usually buy games, physical games, because there's not a lot of memory on the Switch, because it is a handheld and everything. So if I'm going to buy this game anytime soon, I will have to be buying the digital version of it. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's good. People love good JRPGs. They don't like shitty JRPGs. It's the same thing happened with Bravely Default when the first one came out. Is they didn't expect it to be great, and they expected to like sell okay. Game came out, sold blockbusters. People love that game. That game's fantastic. When Ni no Kuni came out, people were like, no one's going to like this game. It's kind of cartoony. I mean, the Miyazaki team did all the art style for it, but it's a JRPG. People aren't going to go crazy for it in the U.S. People went crazy for it in the U.S. Persona.
Of course they did.
Persona, people like, this game's going to sell really well in the U.S. Like, it's going to be like the big Persona coming out party in the U.S. I mean, Persona 3 is great. Came out, sold absolutely even better than they expected it to.
Do you guys have a strong preference between physical and digital copies?
I highly prefer digital.
I highly prefer digital, but I understand that there are still collectors in the world, and that they are, more about the whole.
I like digital in the sense that you can get it back and re-download it and stuff, but I don't know. There's something to a physical one too.
You have to remember too, there's people like Miles who's on this little island like 100 miles south of the U.S.-Canadian border, and he has the worst internet on the planet. He gets like 2 gigabits a second, whereas megabits, where we get about 100 here. He cannot download games. It would take him a week to download the game. So people like him, and there's a lot of people like that, particularly in the U.S. I think there's a lot of Europe like that too. That just
the center of the United States.
Yeah, they don't have the internets. They don't have the high-speed internet speeds to do it. Now we can do it because we're in California, we're in L.A., in Orange County. Like, it's no problem. It's not that even. It's really not, the difference in price between having 100 versus 20 is like $10 a month. Like, it's worth getting the drastically higher download speeds.
For sure.
So if Miles was buying, I think it was the 5th Tony Hawk game or one of the Tony Hawk games, he would literally be fucked. Because on the physical copy of, even if he bought the physical copy of the game, on one of those Tony Hawk games, it literally only had a demo of it, and it was like a day one patch that was literally the entire game.
Yep.
So he would not even be able to play the game, even if he bought the box.
I mean, most games do that nowadays, or most games load up as much as they can, and then they have the day one patch. I know a lot of people absolutely freaking love to complain about day one patches. Day one patches are terrible. They used to ship games out when they were correct. Well, games were a lot less complex before. There was a lot less going on. And teams.
Well, in this case, it was a case of expiring IP or something.
Well, yeah,
like
that
they had
case
so
is
many
not
weeks before they could announce a game before they lost the license to it or something. So they're like, okay, we have a game, it's done, ready to go, and then they're like, we'll just fix it afterwards. And
exactly.
They can just download the whole game.
That game is the exception, but yeah, a lot of these games people complain about the large day one patches. Like, well, look at WoW and the WoW servers being on fire for 12 hours after they updated the pre-patch. And this is a multi-billion-dollar Fortune 500 company, and they can't even get their shit to work right. What do you think about even some of these other huge places? So I think that's all we got on Octopus. I really want to try it. I'll let you guys know if I get it and try it. I'm really excited.
Let me know if it's
It
good.
looks great. It's isn't it like 5 different stories that all stories that all intermix towards the end?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just great. Like, that sounds so cool.
Yep.
You still need to play 999, dude.
I do.
It's not kind of the same kind of vein of game. And
We
it's
should
still in my top games.
You know what you should do, Thomas?
Yes?
Is maybe not now, but at some point we should do a let's play of that game. We should play you and I should play through that game in its entirety.
Dude, okay, I will spectate and commentate and just watch you and your decisions through that game. I would love that.
Well, you gotta like make comments too and be funny.
Well, I mean, we can do the puzzles and stuff. I can help with that 'cause I don't remember how the puzzles-
dick joke over here, dick joke over there. Ha ha ha!
Oh my God,
Millions of dollars.
It's so backwards because that should be your favorite game and I should not have been the one to play it. And I'm just like, Matt, you need to play this game, dude.
I have so many games I need to play, and I gotta play Fortnite.
God, dude,
So
it's
true.
So
and in
good.
like 8 hours to do challenges for the week come out, and I have WoW to play. But I think it's enough to talk about. So topic 3, we will play it, Thomas. We'll find a time to sit down and start playing it and do
I
let's
love
plays
you.
for it.
Yes, that's good. Good. Oh my God, you will mindgasm, dude.
It'll probably be sometime after you move back up to LA, but assuming we do, or we'll find some time on a weekend or something. But third topic
Word.
for video games.
Yes?
Frola, this is your topic.
Oh, this is my topic. All right, so, how do I get out of this?
Are you playing Magic again?
No,
Are you playing Fortnite?
no. I was playing Duke Nukem 3D, but
Stop
in the browser.
playing games or podcasting.
Sorry.
That's unprofessional.
That's what I do. I I am unprofessional.
You really are.
So I wanted to talk about the Plexus VR gloves. So I don't know if either of you dirty sleuths got a chance to actually click on that link.
I
but-
actually saw it on Reddit because I'm not a filthy plebeian on Imager like some people in this group. One person in this group
Yes,
that's
me.
not named Thomas.
It's Frola.
What do I do? What do I do?
You
No,
didn't
no,
do
you're
anything.
good.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, see, I'm good.
But so essentially they're like this really neat idea for gloves that would be full hand tracking in VR, and you would be able to, clench your fingers and stuff like that, and it would actually track all of that, which is really super cool. But more importantly is my topic about why this is a terrible idea.
Which is one question. Make sure we're on the same page. This is
Okay,
this is the open palm ones, right? That kind of looks like that go. It's like you have the thing around your wrist. It goes over the top of your hand and then like along your fingers, and it has like almost like a little claw at the end.
No.
Well, are these the same ones I asked you about, or is this a different thing? Remember,
I think
I
this
was
is
like,
a different thing.
okay.
I'm opening the link
So-
up right now. On my
Yes.
brand new mechanical keyboard. That's fucking fantastic. Yeah, no, okay,
I
no,
just got a
this-
sexy-ass
this
keyboard.
is the one I'm thinking of.
This is the one you're
Yeah.
thinking of? So this is really cool, but a bad idea. And the reason why is because unfortunately it's too early. The first thing that we have to solve is how do we get the entire body to move? And then we can start thinking about how are we going to like make the hands function within VR, because right now, are you saying that I need to buy these gloves as well as a controller and I have to have both on at the same time in order to, be able to move my character forward or to do the other things? Like, that's unacceptable. Like, nobody's going to buy that. That's absurd. And that's why, especially right now, this is a terrible idea, because we just got like confirmation about I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this as much as I do, but we just found out about the Knuckles or whatever they're called, whatever Steam VR's new
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
hand
I'm not too worried
controllers are.
about what Steam's doing though, honestly.
No. So that's the funny thing is that like headset wise, yes, Steam went down, but now it's looking like their new hand controllers are going to finally put them back in the lead for at least the time being.
I don't think so. They're not in the lead. First of all, they've never been in the lead. There's only one that's in the lead, and that's the PlayStation. That's PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR sold the other ones about
That's
two
different,
to. No, it's not. They sold out about 2 to 1.
We're not talking about sales. We're talking about functionality. We're ignoring how much money something's making. We're focusing on the technology of each company. Like for instance,
Okay.
Whenever the Oculus released, but only had the Xbox controller attached to it, everybody was like, "Oh, Oculus doesn't know what's going on," and everybody went to like, saying that Vive was going to be like what pushed the industry. And then Oculus released with the Touch, and everybody was like, "The Touch is the greatest thing that's ever happened to VR. This is the future." And everybody was like, "Oh, like that's cool." Like the unfortunate fact is that although the display on the PlayStation is really good, the only reason why it sells the most is because it's the most accessible to people. But that doesn't mean that it's the best.
I never said it's best, but the most important VR console is the one that sells the most. And stop. And stop. That's the most important one because you have to get it on and around as many people as possible. The two, in my opinion, most important VR consoles right now is the PlayStation VR and it's the Oculus Go and those sorts of ones. It's not the Vive and the standard Oculus. They're more collectors, early adopters things. The PlayStation one and the Oculus Go are for general consumers. That is how VR is going to get big.
Yes.
That's why those hand controllers are useless.
We're not focusing, in my current statement of what I'm making, we're not focusing on the monetary value. We are focusing on what is pushing the industry to better standards. 'cause
And
we
that's
don't know what the
sales.
standards are
And
yet.
that's sales. Sales is the most
No.
important thing. Yes, it is.
I'm telling you to ignore money for a second.
But then you're just
It's
looking at it
not.
in completely the wrong way. The tech, at the end of the day, the tech doesn't matter. The tech could be shitty if it sold a lot. That's what's going to push it forward. That's going to get more money into it. That's going to get more people wanting to develop things in it. Right now, it's so early on. The number one most important thing is how many units can you sell and how many games can you sell.
Well, no, the only thing that's important right now is that anything's selling at all.
Well, no, things are
That's
selling
good.
right now. Yeah, that's good. I'm saying the most important thing,
right.
though, is that sales continue to stay good, and doing things that like building these hand controllers is pulling away from that.
Yes.
I think we're in agreement
But
there.
I'm going to ignore your entire statement and then lead to what I was going to talk
Okay.
about. Is that the Valve has essentially already made this to some degree and just better in like every way better and better than the touch and obviously better than the PlayStation's controllers because they're just garbage. But they're coming out with this new system which is going to be a controller that it sits in your hand just like anything else, I guess, right now for
The
VR.
knuckles.
But the thing is that it's going to have a tension cord that holds it that's very quick and easy. Like, it takes absolutely no time at all to get this thing to hold on to you. You just pull a ripcord, essentially, and it's there. And the thing that's really cool about it is it has all the functionality of a normal controller. It has an analog stick and the buttons and all that fun stuff. But you can open up your hand fully, and it'll just stay there. It doesn't matter if you're holding onto it or not. It will stay exactly where it's supposed to be.
And it still has the exact number of buttons as the current ones do.
Yeah, and it's actually better than the original because they realized that having just that touchpad that they had for the Vive
It's hot garbage.
was stupid. So now it has an analog stick. I think it still has a touchpad as well, but it also has the buttons. So
The Vive, I just don't like those controllers. Even
Yeah,
if the
controllers are
hardware
bad.
is better, it doesn't feel good.
Whereas the
It
Oculus
doesn't.
so
But here, wait. So the reason why this is so cool is that they're using the same principle as the Oculus uses with the fact that it has proximity for your fingers. So if your fingers are close to the button but not pushing it down, it knows. And then if it is pushing it down, it knows that obviously too. And then if it's not there, it knows that it's not there as well. But it has it for all 5 of your fingers. So now this isn't going to allow everything that we want because we want, we want full functionality. We want to see the full bend and know that we're bending and all that stuff. But this is a step closer in us being able to control our avatars, still have all of that game accessible controls that we want, and at the same time being able to see each of our fingers moving properly. So if you clench your fist, you're going to see your
So
finger.
more organic kind of.
Here's why it's not going to make as big of a deal as you think it's going to.
It's going to be accessible, I believe, in the Oculus Rift as well.
That's fine. Here's why here's why I don't think it's going to be. It could spark something off, but as it stands now, if they're the only one that comes out with this and Oculus sticks with their current touch controllers and don't upgrade to something similar for Oculus 2, just make an assumption here. It's not going to matter because
nobody's going to program for it.
Because nobody's going to program for it because there's not enough Vives out there because the headset, it's such a much bigger investment to get into that headset than it is to get into the other two, and there's less has been sold for them. And when you're developing for games, you have to develop for the masses. So you have to develop if you're coming out for everything, which they want to get most of the developers want to try to get things out as much as possible. They're not selling a ton of things. There was Robo Recall just reached 5,000 reviews on Steam, which was a big deal. Which is a big deal.
Robo Recall, oh my god,
it's so good.
But that's
I think they're talking about a new one or a DLC or something.
yes.
But
I know the people that made Super Hot are talking about making something new.
That's fantastic. But that's only 5,000. That game's been out for a long time.
Yeah. No,
There's still more people buying games on the PlayStation than there are on the other ones. And if you're going to develop, you have to develop with the PlayStation in mind, unless you're doing an Oculus exclusive, which case then the knuckles don't matter because it's an Oculus exclusive. And yeah, sure, maybe it's really easy to program into, and it's not going to be a big deal. But if it's really easy to program into, it's not a big deal. It's not going to light any huge fire because it's not going to be a huge console mover. You need to have those things that get people to want to buy more consoles and want to buy more games, so there's more money into it. And I don't think that a peripheral at this point in time is what it needs. What it needs is more games like Resident Evil. That's what
we really need more.
They're coming.
Painful.
They are coming. We know they're coming. It's a dev cycle's 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 5 years for a dev cycle if you somewhat know what the console is. When you jump from between an Xbox and a PC, it's roughly the same. From a PS4 to a PC, it's roughly the same. And so those dev cycles can be a bit shorter. God of War took them 5 years to make. They know how to control those games. This is the 5th God of War game. 5th or more than that. They've done a bunch of mobile games too. They know how to make those games. Nobody knows how to make a VR game good right now. The dev cycles for a AAA game are probably looking more like 5 to 7 years for the first generation stuff. It'll get shorter as we make more of them, but we have to just make sure we keep buying the consoles and we keep buying games for them until we get to that point. Buying a peripheral, buying these knuckles is not going to push forward VR.
And it's the painful thing, I suppose, is that we have these studios. They need to keep developing, right? They need to keep developing hardware. They have to, because like Steam isn't necessarily releasing games. They don't. They're making all of their VR fund is coming from their sales, which is why they push for the new HTC Vive, which was a stupid move on their part.
Stupid move. That's why they're not. That's why they're going to be. It's a higher resolution, higher quality one that's like twice as expensive. It's like $800.
I was like, it's too luxury.
Yeah, it's more than 800. If you get it with the touch and everything, it comes to like 1,300.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like nobody's buying it, and they even said like nobody's buying it. But like the issue is that that's what's really difficult right now is that you have all of this. What do you call that? R&D? No.
Research and development. Yeah, that's right.
It is R&D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have all this R&D going on, and you need to be able to back that with funds. Now, Oculus has the benefit of Facebook's like, hey, like the Oculus is doing great. Like, don't worry about it. Like, just get it. So they already said we're probably not going to see the DK2. No, not DK.
The Oculus 2.
The Oculus 2 until about 2020, if not 2021.
Perfect. That's exactly what they should be doing.
Yes, and that's great because the technology that anytime they show us technology, we can assume that what they are currently working on is 10 times better than that. And we've already seen things that like
you want a place. You don't need to be these Oculuses and the HTC Vives and the PlayStations are fine. The PlayStation could use better touch controllers, but that's a different story. Yes. These are all fine for now. We want games for them. Have people be developing games, and that's where it needs to be. They should be doing their R&D on the other side, but what you're trying to get, doing these little in-between ones, doesn't work for the VR. It works for the major consoles now. It doesn't work for VR. What we want is PlayStation to PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. That's what we need. We need when this next headset comes out and they go, and it's the same price as the current headset was when it came out. It's $300 with the touch controller, with the touch controllers. Same price point you're used to. And then people put it on and go, this is like 10 times as good. That's what you want.
Exactly what you
These little incremental advantages, as I couch chair CEO this, these little incremental advantages are not, I saw it on Reddit today, are not going to get people interested because they're going to want to just hold off and not buy it until, the new one's coming out soon. Well, the new one's coming out soon. You want to go, no. The new one's not coming out until 2020 or 2021. You're going to get your money's worth if you buy it now. That's, 2-3 years from now. You're going to get your money's worth if you buy it right now. And that's what needs to be pushed home. That's an issue that HTC Vive has. And I don't think we're really going to get them being the next. I think they're going to be out of the headset race soon. The same way with the Steam box. I don't think it's going to exist.
And I feel like they keep on making bad investments.
Yeah, because Steam's a marketplace. They're not more than anything.
I think 5 owners are probably going to jump on the new hand controllers. And honestly, if I hear good reviews once they're out, and if it does in fact turn out that you can use those instead of using the Oculus Touch controllers, I might give them a try if they're cheap. We'll
Yeah,
see.
but you're an early adopter. You're not a general person.
That's true.
The general,
I
the
just fucking
standard,
love VR.
the standard VR person is a PlayStation VR owner, and even that's an extra luxury item. But
Yeah.
anything else we want on this? We spent a lot of time on this topic before we move into our shorter other media section.
Comments?
I'm
Thomas?
just listening, man. I mean, I use the Oculus. I like the Oculus controllers. They feel good. I'm just waiting to a point where the resolution gets to the point where I don't see the pixels, and I can have my headset on for more than 30 minutes at a time.
You just
'Cause-
got it. You just got to keep doing it. Is the key.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's the same thing when you were a little kid and your body learned to play video games for hours and hours. You just start to build up a tolerance for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I like it. I just think that I think right now it's new. I think 5 years from now, VR is going to be the way, man. And when processing power catches up to the point where we have AAA feeling titles in VR, the next generation of gaming is going to be insanity, dude.
We do have one though. We have Resident Evil, which you
I just
cannot.
meant I meant like graphics wise, like
We do have one. We have Resident Evil.
I really wish
Really?
Yeah,
Resident Evil's beautiful.
That
dude.
game shouldn't be possible on a PlayStation VR system.
It just makes me sad that it's only on the PlayStation.
I think
VR.
they're trying
You
to
know
bring
what,
it to
that's
Oculus.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, you should look into it. It's also terrifying, and you could not pay me to play it.
I would play the hell out of it.
But
And
we're gonna.
lose my tits the whole
You would.
way.
It's terrifying. It's because it's VR horror, but it's good VR horror, and it's that new Resident Evil game, newer, I guess it's kind of getting older now. Is people got great reviews, people loved it, and that game wasn't made for VR, but you sure as hell couldn't tell a difference from everything I've heard.
Yeah.
So, anyways, on to
We'll
other
go to the
media.
next one.
Booty
Start.
everywhere. Okay, so other media. We have two topics here. I'm going to start my short one first. I've been watching Overlord 3. We talked about it in our Hot Pot topic a couple weeks ago about the new anime coming out. It's so fantastic. It's so good.
Is it?
I love everything about it. I love how the main character, the whole series is broken up. So other than really the first arc, the arcs generally follow different sets of characters. And they're usually recurring characters, but the main character and the main cast is just always around it and are always, getting involved with it. But you don't see all of them because there's such a huge group of them. And it's so well done. It's so well written, and I just love it. If you have never watched Overlord, I suggest you watch Overlord. Thomas, you have other stuff to watch first.
I have a list, but it's going on it.
Overlord is on that list, I think, already. But it's fantastic. I know Frola loves it too, but he's
I'm
behind.
actually going to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Mostly because this is something from season 2 that kind of made me start caring a little bit less, but only because I was hoping for a different way of writing, I guess.
Mhm.
I'm starting to notice that they do, like, with the... I don't want to spoil anything. So I noticed that they do focus on, specific characters. At least they did it in season 2 as well.
If you're talking about
Did we ever get, a macro?
I think we're moving there. I think they're spending a lot of time really building the world.
A macro.
He's talking about more like the world as a whole and them kind of messing
I
around with
lost
it.
you guys.
It's fine. They do.
Hello?
Can you not hear us at all, Thomas? He must have dropped out of Discord. Thomas, say something. Can you guys hear me? We're having technical issues.
Well, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties today, so we're just going to hold on here for a second. Maybe I'll sing a little song, and then we're going to get right back to the podcast. Yes, Bob here again. I hope you guys like me still. Not quite sure, but it'll take one out for a little bit, but I'll be right back. I think we're coming back up right now, so we'll see you in a second. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.
And we're back, everybody. We lost internet for a minute or two. I don't know why it went down. My router went crazy. My modem went crazy, not even the router. And we're back up, though. I'll finish what I was saying about Overlord and move on to the next thing, other media. But it does start to, I guess, widen out, and I think we're just starting to see that. it's in the most recent episode. The first episode of the season was kind of more just the main characters and him trying to learn to be a better leader. The second episode, they set a plan, a more specific plan as to what's going to be what their end goal is and what they want to do and how they're going to start that process, which is going to involve the world a lot more. I think it's really going to start to expand out from there. Just this was a show / manga / light novel, it's original light novel, that really wanted to take its time and build its world correctly. So you understood where it is, you understood how different people in the world act and interact, and from there they could really start to build it up. And I think that's really important if you're telling, this long fantasy epic. If you were trying to just tell something fun and light, it's a different story. But I mean, a lot of people have died already in the show, and a lot more people, I assume, are going to die. So it's important that they take their time, because when the first, mainish character dies, that needs to be an emotional moment. And it's going to happen at some point. It just is. So it needs to be important, and if they don't build it up and take their time, those moments will be less important. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. I think the biggest issue with the second season is that the lizard people thing took goddamn forever, and you just didn't care about any of them.
Yeah, because is Thomas here?
Thomas is here.
I'm just listening.
Okay, just making sure. What I was trying to get at, though, before we had our evil outing,
No.
is that, because of how powerful the main character is, I really want to see I want to see how the world is functioning. I want to know how the rest of that world is functioning, and how his influence is going to cause a change in tides.
So, two things. Did you watch the second half of the second season?
No, I haven't gone to that.
Okay,
yet.
that second half of the second season is fantastic. It all takes place in the kingdom, and has a lot to do with the seedy underground of it, and stuff the princess is doing, and all about a drug trade and everything, and it's fantastic. Where the first half of the season was kind of a bit of a letdown. This I think is going to really start to push from where it left off and really grow on that, rather than growing on from the lizard folk stuff, because the lizard stuff was not great, and I think the author realized that as well, because the next arc is so violently different from that I hope he never goes back to it, because that arc's very boring.
Okay, good. It was pretty hot with those lizard folk. I'm just saying.
I got what he was trying to do with it, and I thought it was a good idea what he was trying to do with it, and using lizard folk instead of humans and all that stuff. The hero, but the hero failing at the end and stuff like that. Sorry, minor spoilers, but it just didn't quite work. I know it actually pikes Thomas' interest there, but I think that's enough on Overlord. I'll give you more updates on things as things go on. But the next one is the new Bill and Ted movie. Is stuck in development hell. They're saying
it needs to happen.
They're saying it may not happen now. They can't get financing. They can't. There's rights issues with it, and Keanu Reeves wants.
Dude.
He really wants to do it. The other guy, no one knows his name, really wants to do it. Keanu Reeves is a blessing on this planet. He is amazing.
Keanu Reeves is a blessing.
Watch Keanu Reeves take a giant salary cut to make that movie, and they're just being cheap as fuck.
Dude, he donates 90% of his salary to charities and stuff like that. The dude lives in a very modest apartment in New York, and he takes
a model human being.
Yeah,
dude.
he takes the metro to work and stuff like that. And he flies. He doesn't fly. I don't think he flies coach, but he just flies regular airplanes. The amount of money that dude's made, he doesn't have to do that kind of stuff. He's a fan.
Just a solid human being, man. We should have a Keanu Reeves Appreciation Day.
We should. Maybe we'll do.
Sorry.
So maybe we'll do a day. We'll watch all the Matrix movies and just talk about how much we love Keanu Reeves.
Maybe he'll come on.
Maybe.
So, that would be yeah. Keanu Reeves, come on to this random podcast on YouTube.
You're watching. Come on here. Let us tell you how great you are.
And hopefully more outlets in the future. But I was going to say real quick, there's a second Bill and Ted.
What? Yes, there's a second Bill and Ted.
I've never seen the second one.
Oh, fun fact about that, because that's what I do, random stupid facts. Pizza Hut used to do this thing where you get a DVD with your movie, and one of the 5 movies you could choose was Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. So you order a pizza, and it literally comes with a sleeve with just the DVD, just the movie Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's horrible, but it's good. I mean, it's not horrible. Sorry, Keanu Reeves.
It's
It
not.
was amazing.
It's terrible.
It's a good, entertaining movie for what it's supposed to be.
Yes, it's not like the first Bill and Ted's movie, which is
But
a
it's
fantastic
not
film.
a literary masterpiece, I wouldn't say, but it's a good Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah, there's only been 2 of them. The first one is absolutely fantastic, but the second one's watchable. You don't feel bad watching it. You're not like, oh man, this was so terrible. I want my 2 hours back. Like I was after I watched Piranha. My friends in college forced me to go watch Piranha with them, and I was
Piranha.
I was really upset. They're like, it's a rated R horror movie, but it's supposed to be so bad it's funny. I was like, okay, well at least there will probably be boobs in it. So like, there's worse things.
Selling point number 1.
There weren't.
What?
I don't think so.
What?
If
We're
I went to a
liars.
movie, if I was like 12 years old and I was watching an R movie or whatever, and I'm like, and the major selling point was boobs and there was no boobs, I would have been thoroughly,
I walked out of the movie so
Outraged.
angry, and it didn't even have to do with the boobs. Even if there were boobs, and there may have been, I don't even remember them because I was just so I was
You're
so
that man's
angry after that movie that I'm getting worked up right now, guys. Getting worked up right now.
I
Did
feel
this?
for you.
What was I gonna say? Did this trigger you?
I'm triggered. Piranha has triggered me. I'm a little
Piranha triggered
snowflake.
you?
I'm a little snowflake. Find me my safe space. Because of Piranha 3D.
Because of Piranha 3D.
It was
It
terrible.
sounds like those that genre of IMAX movies where it's like the ocean, the deep ocean, where you can only watch it in
No.
like 3 theaters.
No, it's not that. It was a wide release movie. We watched it at like the ArcLight in Pasadena. It was
I'm so sorry.
it's one of those that came up like, it's so terrible, it's good. It's like pre-Sharknado. Everyone should go see it because it fucking sucks and it's so terrible. You'll just laugh your ass off. No, it was just bad.
It was just bad.
It was just bad. You should feel bad for making that movie. I hope whoever the director is never makes anything else good in their life. Watch it end up being like the Russo brothers made the movie.
Oh god.
Let's see who made it.
Don't ever make this again. What about Sharknado? Was Sharknado good?
No, Sharknado is supposed to be a bad movie. That's why it's so popular.
But
That's
what
the
I
same
mean.
thing with
Literally
this.
What he's
so
talking
bad that it's good.
I don't know. I never saw it.
See,
Because that's an angle that you can work.
that's the angle they tried to work in this movie. It was just terrible.
There's a whole genre of these bad movies that they're good.
Adam Scott is in this movie. It's terrible. Christopher Lloyd, Richard
Is Adam
Dreyfuss,
Scott
Ving
Stifler?
Rhames, Steve McQueen, Stephen Chadwick McQueen is in there.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Oh, wait,
Is
that's
Adam
wait,
Scott
wait,
Stifler
that's
from
not-
American Pie?
No, I'm sorry. Steve McQueen is not the Steve McQueen I was thinking of. It
Who's
was.
Adam Scott though?
Adam Scott's the douchey brother from Step Brothers.
It's not Stifler.
It's not Stifler. You know Step Brothers, the douchey brother. Have you watched Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
It's what's his face? It's the guy who's the accountant. Who's
Oh,
boring.
okay.
And he doesn't understand. He doesn't get the donkey, which you're not supposed to get. So
Donkey Punch?
no, stop. You're not allowed. Who's the Stephen McQueen dude who's not Steve McQueen, the coolest man on the planet?
Okay, so have we just officially labeled the coolest man on the planet, and I didn't see that in the show notes?
What? You've never
Did we
Steve
just give out an
Steve
award?
Steve McQueen's been dead since 1980.
Okay, so he won't be here to receive his award.
No, have you
I'd
guys
be
not know
present to
that's like an old joke for old people. They goddamn love Steve McQueen. He's an old actor. He was the king of cool. Like he's like that's the thing is that he was the coolest man who ever lived. If you just Google him, he's just like a man's man American-y dude. He's just like a cool mofo. I think there's a picture of him with a thunderbird that's really famous.
What about James? He's a cool
I don't
dude.
know.
Maybe not.
I don't know
Who's a
enough
cool
about
dude?
Steve McQueen.
I know nothing about Steve McQueen other than I hear
need to work up
other-
Steve McQueen
other-
knowledge.
other than I hear old people talk about how Steve McQueen was like the coolest thing in the planet, and that he was talked about a lot. Like who's the guy who I hate but I'm wrong about? Who was in the original Ocean's 11 movie? The original. Come on, guys.
I don't remember. I don't know people's names very well. I'm bad.
The
with
really,
names. I
the
gotta do
really,
faces.
the 1961 Sinatra. Like you know how
Frank
Sinatra's.
Sinatra?
I don't like Frank Sinatra, but I'm wrong.
What?
Don't throw it at me. I'm wrong. I understand it. I
You
can't.
said- you led off this with saying that you can have opinions and they can be wrong.
That's
That's
I
fair.
know
That's
I know
fair.
I know
Okay.
it's a wrong opinion. I don't like him. I can't stand him. But he was he was also cool as fuck. He was similar
He was
to.
a classy mafia dude.
He was a classy mafia dude.
Let's clap off.
Him and Steve McQueen are similar. They're just cool fuckers. Okay, I don't know. We have anything else to talk about Bill and Ted? We kind of got off track there a little
Sorry,
bit.
dude, I got so excited about Keanu Reeves.
Did you just start googling Keanu Reeves stuff?
No, I'm a fanboy of
fanboy?
the Keanu, dude.
Ah,
Keanu's
it's
great.
it's the K-Man, guys.
It's the cave. Oh my god, it's the caveman.
The who?
Cayman, Kane. He's in the Cayman Islands, dude. The Cayman Islands are named after Keanu Reeves.
They
Hell
are.
Yeah, they are.
Shit. Sweating. I'm gonna take my shirt off, but I'm also on camera, even though I'm on camera. Okay.
You're on camera?
I always do it. It helps me make sure everything is moving. Like
I
when I edit it, it helps me get everything through. Plus, I do funny faces to the camera. It helps keep me interested.
Wink to the camera.
I usually
I'm
do
doing a
things.
digital wink.
I usually do things more like fake lick my snowball microphone and stuff like that.
Nice, dude. I'm
the-
gonna do an audible wink to the camera.
Ooh.
So we're finally moving on to our hot pot topic. It's gonna be probably a longer podcast. Hot pot topic. Say it with me, everybody. Hot pot
Hot pot
topic. Hot pot topic.
We tried. That's the important.
Hot pot topic. Anyways, today we're talking about something that we all absolutely love: the Uncharted fan film that Nathan Fillion helped send out. Oh. We all love Uncharted. I love Uncharted so much. Uncharted 4 is my
Uncharted 4,
third favorite game of all time, I think.
That's like in my top 3 slots. I'm not even gonna order them. That's just in the top 3 slots.
It's
Yeah.
Journey, God of War, then Uncharted 4 for me. Just
I
as-
have 3 number 1 games, and that is one of the number 1 games.
God, I don't even know.
Uncharted 4, including playing Uncharted 1 through 4 in order, because you know, like the feels, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I did. To prep for Uncharted 4. It's that game is just, it's so fantastic. But so Nathan Fillion, who's everyone's always wanted to play Nathan Drake, finally
Did it?
did not get the role of
Did it.
Nathan Drake. That's going
I
to
know,
Tom
it's
Holland.
so annoying.
But
Did Tom Holland really get it? Because Little Spider-Man, as much as I love him, I don't think he's a Nathan Drake.
He doesn't have the chiseled jaw. That's
He doesn't
my
have the
issue.
voice.
We'll see.
He doesn't have the.
We'll see
Man,
what.
dude, he's got to be young Nathan Drake, dude. If he's young Nathan Drake, I'm on board with that.
I'm pretty
100%.
certain. I'm pretty certain he'll be younger
He's-
Nathan Drake.
He's young Drake, dude. Like in the flashbacks.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be.
No, I
Plus
think
he's
I
hot
think
right
I
now.
think it's just going to be a young Nathan Drake story. Would be my guess. It's going to be a pre-Uncharted 1 Nathan Drake story. It'll probably be like him meeting Cutter or something like that. Would be that's what I would go with it. Because you can have somebody British.
My
and
hope
mean.
is that they are. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over
That's
you.
fine.
No, you're good, dude.
But my hope is that you're right, and that it's because they want to start from like a young age to build up to, like, you know, this is where it started, and then
They
work
wanna-
their way.
They
through.
want to Indiana Jones it. Yeah, that's fine. It's
Yeah,
smart. It's
I
smart
do agree
hiring.
with that.
It's smart hiring a younger actor compared to Nathan Fillion, who in 10 years is. I mean, he's gonna be an old man by now. He was in the short film. If you guys haven't seen it,
Have his kids do it, dude.
it
Yeah,
was.
I mean, no spoilers for fucking anything.
Yeah, I know
general, just have it let it go.
There may be Uncharted spoilers in here, so if you don't want to hear Uncharted spoilers, you can leave now. Giving it very clear, we will
Okay, dude, have his
almost
kids do
definitely
it.
spoil things. Yeah, you mean Nathan Fillion's kids or Drake's kid?
Drake's kids, dude.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do, but they're definitely not going to do that because that's not how Hollywood makes
Feels
movies.
80 or something.
Yeah, it feels people aren't gonna like it. If you say it's an Uncharted movie and Tom Holland's in it, be like, ooh, Tom Holland, he's so hot right now. And Uncharted, oh, that's so
Tom
good right
Holland's
now.
So hot right now.
He's so hot right
So
now.
hot right now.
So hot right now. Pardon me for a second.
You gonna sneeze? Don't sneeze in the camera.
Bless you in advance.
Oh no.
But oh, good bless you, good tight. Nathan Fillion was looking. I love Nathan Fillion. He was looking a little old.
He
in
is.
this.
Yeah.
I agree,
We
but
need somebody
the
right.
real Hollywood magic, the big budget Hollywood magic, can make this happen. They can make it work. The only thing was that his voice. They needed the audio.
The sound.
sorry, I loved it.
No, that's fine. No.
That's
This
probably
is
production's fault.
this
Like,
is we're allowed
his
to
fault.
criticize it. We liked it. We loved it. Everyone should go watch it. It's on YouTube for
it's
now.
So good.
It's
The big
fantastic.
giveaway for like fan films and festival films is the audio usually, and that's usually where Hollywood makes is a little bit different, right? And I think they didn't mix his voice the same way they do in the games, which is part of his whole aura. And I think if it got that treatment, it would have had even more of that power. It would have felt better.
I think so, but it's also not particularly cheap to do really high level, really, really great sound editing. Like,
Other than that, though, dude, I was loving it. I think I'm glad he got to do it. If anything, I mean, he got to play him live, like he was doing the mocap and stuff, and I think that's dope as shit. And I'm happy for him. And I also think that the fans loved it. I think they got a nice treat out of it too.
yeah, I think everyone liked it. I don't think Sony is going to take it down in any way, shape, or form, just because there's no reason not to. It would just get people pissy at him, and he's not making any money on it. He said very clear. They basically just spend a bunch of money to do it. I think you were bringing up, are they trying to Deadpool it? So what are your thoughts? What's your thoughts first, Thomas?
I'm hoping they were trying to Deadpool. I was thinking they were trying to get hype, like, because you know how the it's in production hell, right? It hasn't happened. We've heard about it. It hasn't happened, and like, but how Deadpool leaked accidentally. I'm thinking that they're like, well, what if we just accidentally had me be Nathan Drake and see what people say and see how hyped people would actually be for that. And it turns out very.
Yeah, people are very hyped about it.
The hype is strong.
I think the big issue with the Uncharted movies, they can't get a script they like, which I think is okay if they don't just start making on a script. I know. I kind of gave you an idea on what to do for that, but we'll see if you do it. That's another one. Yeah, it's everyone needs to watch. It's so good. My opinion on it is that I think they were trying to to Deadpool it. I just don't. I think compared to the Deadpool one, though, I don't think Hollywood wants to go with Nathan Fillion in this role. I would love to see him in the movie in some shape or form. I would love to see him in the movie in some shape or form, even if it's just a bit cameo of some sort. And I think he should be, especially after doing this. But I think
what if they make all of Uncharted canon and then have the movie pick up after that, and then he's just Nathan? He is Nathan Drake.
That would be the only way to do it.
Yeah.
But I also don't think they want to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think the studios want to do it their own way, which is stupid. Super duper fucking stupid. But I don't think that's the path they want to go. I think they want to build a franchise. I think they want the next Indiana Jones, or the next Kingsman, one could say, because that's kind of a more newer thing. And
dude,
that's
it's all dollar signs, man. Dollar signs everywhere.
It's all about the money.
Dollar bill.
And there's definitely some studio executive somewhere. He goes like, Nathan Fillion, he's kind of old. I don't know if we can build a franchise around Nathan Fillion. He's kind of old. And it's like, well, no, I mean, he'd be fine if you just were smart about it. But these people don't want to take risks.
They don't even know. They're guessing. They don't want to take risks, and they don't even know what a risk is. And like, even with Deadpool, they're like, too scared. Oh, look at all this hype. Okay, now it's safe to go.
Yeah, now it's safe to go. And now it's safe to make R-rated movies. I mean, without Deadpool, we never get Logan, which is fucking fantastic.
Right?
Did I see Logan? Did I see Logan with you?
Oh no, I haven't seen Logan.
No, with Thomas.
Oh.
Did we see Logan together? With Miles, or was it just me and Miles? Or did I not see it with anybody?
No, I went with you guys, and then I saw it again. I saw that movie twice.
That movie's so fantastic.
That movie was fabulous.
I need to see it because it looks so good.
It's so
great,
sad.
Great fucking movie, dude. No spoilers for Logan.
No spoilers for Logan. Just it's a great movie. Everyone should go watch it. Oh man, I posted in Discord if you guys want to go look at it in the general chat, a side by side of Tom Holland and Nathan Drake from the game. I think he'd be fine. Do his hair, a little bit of makeup.
He looks like it.
With the right amount of makeup, I think they could.
If we're being nitpicky, right? I loved the thing. There was a take or two, namely one take, I'm not going to say which, that I thought if it was me, I would have chosen a different take. Because, I mean, if you're trying to present him in the best way possible, right? And I think he delivered everything he could. I think maybe one joke less. And, I mean, the jokes are there. That's his personality and stuff. But I think they went a little extra. And then I also think one little take different and then the beef up the sound, and that he could totally do it. Also, this is me fucking couch directing, dude. It's not like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like who knows? Maybe they did that scene like 12 times, and just that was the best take. That's
Yeah,
just
dude, I
sometimes
mean,
happens.
It was in one of the really long takes, and I'm imagining they only got so many of those, and that was what they got. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. One thing I didn't like about it is when after he jumps through the window and he lands down, and
Mhm. Oh, and he's
he
on his
pull-
face.
and he pulls the gun out, and it goes like into third person, like it's in the game. I didn't like that shot. It
Yeah, I thought
it was,
that was
you know what
unnecessary.
you know what I thought it was good that he like jumps out and it's like the cinematic thing, and then it pulls back to him and it's like third person and he takes a few steps. I thought that was really cool. I think they held it for too long. I think
You're right. Maybe that was a beat long. I agree with you. But what's funny was that it was also kind of a cool moment because it was literally the cutscene to gameplay transition that
Yes.
you see in the
Yeah.
game.
and I loved
is
and
kinda
I
dope.
loved it for a second, and I was like, okay, I only need to be
A
like
little too long.
I needed it to be like a haha, yeah, like we know this was a video game originally and not a
There was one corner peak a little too long, right? Like he did the one thing and
Yeah.
then he did the other thing.
he
just
lit-
held
it,
a
lit-
couple
it
seconds.
literally should have been him, do the scene transition, him pull the gun out. He should like checked the bullets or whatever in there, close it up, cock the gun. He didn't do all that. Shoot one
I would have liked
person
to go
and
around
then
once, shoot,
it should have, and he shot one guy and then
kill
it
the
should
guy that got shot, and then come back to normal. Or
and then
something like that,
exactly, and
right?
then come back to a more normal way of shooting an action scene. But I think that was also just a budgetary issue, if I had to make a guess, because it would be a lot easier to shoot something that way, because you do it's one long shot rather than having to go back and forth, which makes it a lot easier than you don't have to get as many angles.
Oh,
But it was good. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Okay, and if he now imagine he's listening to this and he's like, listen to these motherfuckers criticizing all this nitpicky shit.
Criticizing
We
all
loved
that
it, though.
I used my own ass and money to make you guys a nice thing, and all you do is.
I wish I could. I mean, I'd probably give him a couple bucks to like help him recoup the costs if they'd let us, but he's not allowed to do it. He's not allowed to do that.
Not allowed. Yeah.
Yeah, because then he'll get pulled from YouTube. But yeah.
You know what? But I'm glad he did it. I'm so glad he did it, and I think it was great. And I would love to see him cast in it, or at least involved in it. I just want it to
same thing.
happen.
Exactly.
And you know what? I wouldn't want it to happen without him either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know
he's-
if I'd want it to
I
happen
want him to
without
be part of it.
He
at the very
has
least.
to, at the very, very least, have a cameo.
That might be their dilemma because, like, they're like, well, if he's not in it, the fans will rage, and if he's in it, they're not confident he can carry, so they went and Deadpooled the thing, and maybe this is the edge that they need. Maybe they can
Here's
see
how-
the potential.
Here's how you do
could
it. Here's how you get him in the movie. You make him the bad guy.
What? Like plot twist?
That would be amazing.
No, not Drake. You make Nathan Fillion the bad guy.
Yeah, no. That I was on board with that.
You just have him
just
be a Nathan Drakey like character, and like the plot twist is him turning on actual Nathan Drake. So he can be like not a mentor, but he's like someone Sully knows, and the three of them are doing a heist together, and Drake.
Just have him be in it.
Yeah, Drake is more not quite as sullen. He's more like the way he was when in those kid scenes in Uncharted 4 when he's younger. And he's not snarky. His brother's a bit more snarky. So you have him be a little snarky in the movie, but you have Nathan Fillion just really hamming it up until the end, and you just have him keep talking about this mysterious bad guy. That like our boss is going with this, and it turns out Nathan Fillion's character is the big bad, or related to the big bad, or sold them out to the big bad or sells them out to the big bad at the end, and that's the big twist for it. And that way you can have him in a prominent role, being Nathan Drakey for at least the first movie, and then they can move forward from there.
Nice.
Yeah, or like
I would be down for that.
That could be cool. Or they could do like, he could die. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
could die. in the
even,
movie.
yep. Well, he's the bad
Have
guy.
him be in the first movie, carry in there with his kids. Dude, it's fucking him and his kids, and they're all going on the big.
No, you
adventure, and
can't,
it's
you
Nathan Drake, and then he saves his-
let Nathan Drake die. That's so against everything that is Uncharted. They've
Nathan
talked.
Drake, that's true. It's literally
Mhm.
yeah, it's really against the flavor.
They
of that show, that
they
game.
talked about it, and they said, and people were like, "Oh man, is someone gonna die? Is Nathan Drake gonna die?" And the developer, they're like he was never gonna die. There was never any chance of any of
course
the
not.
any of the three
You
main
can't have,
characters
like,
ever dying in these games, because like they're pulpy action Indiana Jonesy kind of movies. Like they're supposed
you
to be
can't.
fun. Like they can get dark at times and things can get sad. And we all knew Elena was gonna be super pissed when she showed up in the fourth game. And
But
she
she's
was
always
super
back
pissed,
around.
but she's always going to come back around. She's going to forgive him, and he's going to, grow up a bit more. Because that's just what those kind of games are, and that's what makes Uncharted so special. I think that is that a good time. Is that a good spot to end, or do you guys want to say something else?
Honestly, like I'm stoked on that. I feel like that was good. I'm excited. I think that was a dope thing that they made.
Was it? Did we already talk about in our podcast about how the creators of Uncharted, they always said that like you don't have health in the Uncharted games. It's that every time the screen flashes, it's you getting closer to like his luck is running out.
Yes, I think we talked about that last week. I want to say.
Okay, because I really like that point.
It's fantastic.
That's one of my favorite.
Apparently, if you go back to the interviews from the Uncharted 1 games, they actually talk about that. Just like bits here and there.
A cool flavor, dude.
It really is.
And it makes so much sense too. So.
I mean, I think that's a fun place for us to check out. Then.
Sounds good, everybody. This was the Lazy Octopus Gaming Hot Pot Podcast.
Hot topic.
Our topic this week, like I said, was Uncharted fan film by Nathan Fillion. I had a lot of fun today. I know Thomas is sweaty. Wants to go take a shower from his kung fu. So we're gonna end it here. I'm glad you guys could join us. We're still only on YouTube for the time being. I'm gonna try to figure out this weekend. I know I say that a lot. I'm gonna actually try to figure out this weekend how to get it on everything else. We're gonna actually do it this time. Yeah, I mean that's it. You can find all of us, Lazy Octopus Gaming, on YouTube. That's the name of the channel. Our Twitter, which we're constantly, whenever a new video goes up, we're posting things. As of now, one video a day, Monday through Friday. And on Fridays, the podcast comes out. Yeah, we have a video a day is going up at this point. Hopefully, we'll get some more even more content going up soon as well. We're Lazy Octopus Gaming on Twitter. Our Twitch is Lazy Octopus Gaming. We've been streaming Fortnite. We just passed out MTG beta codes for MTG Arena. We'll probably stream some of that. I know Thomas is definitely going to... Yeah, we'll probably down with that. We'll give a little update on what everyone's doing. Lots of Fortnite. I love Fortnite. I got to start streaming Fortnite whenever I play. Some WoW I want to do, especially once the new expansion comes out. Like I said, I'm Matt. I'm at Darth_Pertinax on Twitter. You can find me. There's the best place to go. I'm not on Instagram. I should be. I know. Where can they find you guys, and anything else you guys want to say you got coming around?
You can go first this time. Dang it. Okay, fine. Hi, my name is Andrew. You can find me... Sorry, my name is Brola.
Stripping your identity away from me.
You can find me at the Weird Alphabet, where all good podcasts are found. But more importantly, you can find
what's the name of the website as well?
It is Pipe Dream Podcasts, and you'll be able to find the Weird Alphabet there. We're going through the entire discography of Weird Al in alphabetical order. And you can also find us
alphabetical order.
Yes, even though I'm not technically on that right now, but just because we're trying to push as much as we can, there is the Weird Al convention coming up in September, I think.
You'll have
I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. I'll let you know next week.
Does Weird Al have a name for his fans, like a certain nickname?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He's existed for long.
Alphabet soup.
Right. But yeah, and then Thomas, over to you.
Hello, I'm Thomas, and you can find me.
He knows Kung Fu.
Whoa. You guys can find me here. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot. I'm on Overwatch a lot. Aaron, Overwatch. And, yeah. I also have an Instagram, Thomas Max Neal. There's nothing on there, but this is me. This is where you can find me.
We can find him. Once he has time, or we keep proving ourselves that we are doing more stuff, he will eventually start making content, we hope. Maybe. One of these days.
Oh, you have content coming down the pipeline. You don't even worry about it.
I know. I'm not.
I'm excited.
I know.
Stuff.
Yeah, but like I said,
whenever Thomas's stuff starts hitting, that's whenever we're gonna go big.
Yeah, because Thomas is much better at this than we are.
Yes.
Like a lot better than us than we are. So, anyways, like I said, it was wonderful to.
You guys are my bros. I love you.
We love you too, Thomas. This was wonderful to chat with everybody today, and we'll see you next time. And have a lazy day. Goodbye.
I like to have a lazy day.